Hello, this is PG, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Sandland on the Xbox Series X. The game is also available on a variety of other platforms. Sandland is an action role-playing game developed by ILCA and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. The game is based on a Japanese manga series of the same name created by Akira Toriyama. This game was one of the last projects Toriyama worked on prior to his death in 2024. So what is the game like to play? Well, the game sees you assume the role of Beelzebub, a young demon who embarks on a journey into Sandland to find a sacred water source. With that in mind, most of the early action sees you explore the game world on foot or in a tank, but tanks are not the only way to get around. As you progress, you'll open up the possibility to build your own vehicles. There's everything from cars, bikes, combat robots, jumping bots, and hover vehicles. Each vehicle can be upgraded and customized over time, which also includes 2 different weapons. While we're on the topic of weapons, let's delve into the combat. Beelzebub can fight hand to hand, and I'd say this is quite good fun. It often feels a bit like a sort of over-the-top beat-em-up of sorts. But the combat, I'd say, really comes into its own when you start fighting in vehicles. The tank is your most reliable weapon with its strong armour and powerful machine guns or explosive shells, but it is slow and it has limited firing arcs. This is worth mentioning because tank battles are actually quite tactical, with you having to keep on the move, searching for higher ground or obstacles that can block enemy fire. But if you switch between vehicles, it mixes up the combat quite significantly. Whether you opt for a fast, agile or powerful machine, each has got their own strengths and weaknesses, but the game, it does let you choose how you want to approach each battle. The vehicles aren't just for combat though, they help you get around the regions in the game world, whether you're using the bike to jump over chasms, the walking robot to climb a mountain, or the hover vehicle to traverse a river. Each option adds a variety and a complexity that is well matched to the level and game world design. Speaking of the game world, it's quite a large place to explore, and it's also much bigger than you first think. Sandland is spread across different regions that offer new challenges, but as these new challenges arise, so do new vehicles that will counteract these problems. It is a very simple thing, but it makes the progression feel organic and really tied to the new items and the new vehicles you can create. The world itself features lots of open spaces, ancient tombs, towns where you can do some trading, and also a place called Spino. What is Spino? It's basically the hub town that starts out looking like an absolute dump, but as you complete main missions, side missions and rescue other survivors in the Sandland area, the town will start to fill up. There will be new shops, new traders, the working environments will change, and you'll have the ability to further customize vehicles with paintwork. You'll upgrade different parts of the machines, you can swap them out, build new ones from scratch, and as I said, yes, you can paint, although I'd say the painting option for the skin colours of your vehicles, it did take me almost half my playthrough to actually unlock this because it's locked behind some pretty obscure missions. I think that was a bit unnecessary. What else? Well, there is a private room in the hub town. You can decorate it, you can put furniture in it, you can paint it. It doesn't really add anything significant to the narrative, but it's just a little side activity if you really, want to have a little room to yourself. Now the story, a lot of the story is tied to the progression of Spino, but I'd say overall the story is pretty good. I mean, I won't give it away. It involves yourself, the demons, and a human character going to look for some water supplies. It's a lot more complex than that. It covers aspects such as war, Armageddon, genocide, and they're pretty serious topics, but they're handled in a very sort of light and whimsical way that doesn't make them too solemn to experience. Now, if you're into side quests, there's a lot to do. Whether you become a contract hunter, you can get involved in racing along sand dunes, or you can just enter combat arenas to test your skills. There's lots out there to find, and you know what? It's a perfect game to get sidetracked in. And I have to confess, I did get sidetracked a lot. And I think that says a lot about the game. I played this game way longer than was actually required to complete it. Why? Well, it's just very playable. It's very easy to enjoy. The combat is fun. The traversal is constantly engaging and switching things up. There's so many different ways to approach problems, and it's just a really well thought out game from top to bottom.
Make sure to check your gear every now and then.
You never know when something you've picked up might come in handy.
The only issues I encountered were the fact that, as I said, painting your vehicles takes almost half the playthrough to unlock. Now, this is something that would be annoying if you've bought the cosmetic DLC, because you really just want to use that straight away. The only other issue with the game, which is probably, the only part that's actually a downgrade, is the NPC chit chat. Now, when you're traveling around, you've got some allies with you in the vehicles, and the NPC chit chat, it's on a whole new level. Every 30 seconds they come out with some line, and they repeat these lines so often they will drive you insane. Now, the lines themselves, they're helpful the first time you hear them, but once you've heard them 400 times, let me tell you, so bloody annoying, and you can't turn them off. Why? Visually, it has a very distinct art style. It's colourful, it's incredibly unusual at times, unique character designs, the game world is really nicely polished in a sort of almost cel-shaded cartoon style. Menus are excellent, good fonts, bold, clean, clear, very easy to read, easy to navigate. Sound, the musical score is wonderful. It's got some really, truly unique and catchy tracks. My God, so addictive. The sound effects are also well suited, and the voice acting, although I'd say the voice acting does, like I said, it's a bit too frequent. Some of the cutscenes that have chit chat go on for like an eternity, so there's a little bit of audio skipping there. You can't help it. Once you've listened to two little dudes talk for 10 minutes, it's like, can we get back in the tank? Yeah.
What do you mean illegal?
Basically, it means she's not allowed in this country, but snuck in anyway.
Wow. Now that's bad.
Anyway, what is the verdict? Sandland is a fantastic game that's incredibly varied, well paced, and beautifully structured. Everything felt spot on in terms of how the story unfolded, how new vehicles became available, to suit the environmental challenges. The combat was very entertaining and also complex depending on what vehicle you're using. Honestly, such a good game, way better than I was expecting, and yeah, it's one of those games you might overlook in the store, as I did for several months, but my goodness, it really is superb in almost every way. It offers so much more than I thought it would, and I would say it is kind of borderline masterpiece in terms of design quality and structure. As I said, the only two things that annoyed me were the overzealous NPC chit chat and the fact that you can't unlock cosmetics until you do an elaborate list of missions that isn't very clearly signposted. But those two things aside, what a wonderful game. Compelling as a journey, very playable, and one of the most pleasurable experiences in gaming terms that I've had in the last couple of years. I absolutely loved it, and I would certainly recommend this to anyone who might be thinking about getting it, but you're sitting on the fence. Get off that fence, sunshine. Go get this one, because you can get it for about $10, £10. What a bargain, a great game. Scoring, I would give Sandland a 9 out of 10. That was the review. Thank you for watching. This is Photography Gamer signing off. Cheers.